Welcome back, Romantic Home family, and welcome if y'all are new. I am Olivia, Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video, I am so excited to share with you guys a DIY shabby chic table makeover. We're going to be taking one of my little side tables that's a little bit rustic French country, which I've enjoyed and loved for years, but we're going to take it and give it a little bit of a shabby chic girly touch. It's going to be in here for my studio, and I might even sell another one of them, but we'll see about that. So super excited to share this video with you guys, as well as we're starting a new Bible study in this video. If you guys love to craft and decorate on a budget and you love girly, romantic, shabby chic style, definitely consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. This is part of my I Love Spring series. And without further ado, go ahead and plug in your glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Before I start painting, I want to prep my space and lay down a drop cloth. I love the Dollar Tree plastic party tablecloths. I like to cut them in half, and then I'm going to be able to get at least a couple uses out of this. You guys can tell I have lots of allergies, excuse me. So we're starting out with this rustic table. I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's still available. I'm using pink paint by Dixie Belle Paints, and then also the color Fluff. So for the majority of the project, we're using the soft pink by Dixie Belle Paints. It's chalk paint. I love it. And when I start a furniture project, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I like to start with the actual furniture piece flipped over. That way I'm getting the underneath side around any of the crevices. And I also did wipe this down twice before I started the project. Now, don't come for me if you guys love rustic, chic French country, because I also love that as well. However, I bought these to go in my son's room, and Lubana sent me new end tables that were a dark brown, which I know is what he loves. And so I put those in my son's room. And those are going to stay there. So I have these two Hobby Lobby tables that I can do as I please with and paint as girly as I want. So that's what we're going to go for. And I love having one of these tables in my studio because it has a larger surface and it's just great to put things in. Plus it has a little drawer storage. Now this was a bit of a tedious, time-consuming project because I brush painted the entire thing. And I wouldn't say it was super tedious. It's actually pretty relaxing to do. And I don't know if you guys know this fun fact about me, but I grew up on 100 acres, 20 minutes from town, and my favorite thing to do in the summer was to climb up in this big giant treehouse that my dad built for us and read. I would read books all summer long, and I also loved to craft and paint. So I still love to do a lot of those things today, although now my eyes get tired easy, so I do mostly audiobooks. And well, you guys know the end of the story of crafting and painting. I'm here for it always. So also I want to do a two-tone look with this table, so you can tell the parts that I'm not painting pink are going to be the parts that are going to be more white. Or actually, it's kind of a marshmallow fluff color. Now I'm going in with a marshmallow fluff and I'm painting that along the sides. I like to pick areas that are pretty flat and easy to do my accent color because my hand isn't as steady as it used to be with my paintbrush. So give me some grace. Now I will tell you that I put one coat down, let it dry, flipped the table over, did the underside again. So it's in total probably gotten 3 coats once I was completely done with it. And I love chalk paint because it dries really well. And this table from Hobby Lobby is very just easy to paint. It's slightly porous, so the paint absorbs really well. It does require a little bit more paint because of that, but it's pretty much unfinished wood. So you guys could really paint this whatever color that you love. You necessarily wouldn't have to do shabby chic colors with white and pink. This is what I love and what I want to put in my home because I get to decorate my home however I want, and I absolutely love it, and maybe you do too. So maybe you could do black or beige or gray or yellow or purple or aqua blue, lime green, and pink. There's so many ideas, and I think you should take a chance on a small table like this and just have fun with it and go for it because it's just paint. and it's just furniture. And I think your paint and your furniture should reflect your heart and your art and the things that you love. And so I just want to encourage you guys to have some fun with your furniture and your decor. Get outside of your comfort zone and do something that's going to make your heart smile. And I can tell you that even though I know pink might not be for everybody, pink is definitely my favorite color and it makes my heart smile. So I don't know how you guys have been doing through all this just new winter weather that we've been getting, even though it was spring and 80 degrees 2 days ago. Now it's 17 degrees and it's not feeling so much like spring. So my studio was really cold. I kept having to flip my heater on. I'm trying not to run it too much to keep the cost down, but there is that. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it over now. And now we're going to start on the top part of the table. So this, is pretty easy to do. It was a little bit of unfinished wood. And here, of course, we have Mr. Benji Bear making his appearance to say hi to you guys. Unfortunately, we did not get to go outside and walk today. He had to take his potty break in the backyard. So now I'm going to grab some of this metallic spray paint for the little knob. Super easy to do. I just added a touch of spray paint to the end. Now, if your area is going to get a lot of high traffic, you definitely want to seal this entire project. I am going to be going to buy some acrylic sealer at Hobby Lobby. It's my favorite and it does seal things rather well. I also have some sealer that Dixie Belle Paint sent me, and huge shout out to Dixie Belle Paints for this awesome paint. You guys are the best. Now I have this toile contact paper, and you guys know how much I love my contact paper. It's one of my favorites. I simply just measured the inside of the drawer, and I want to lay down contact paper on the inside of the drawer. And I also actually wanted to do the drawer in contact paper as well. But you guys also know my history with contact paper and how I nearly ruined my fridge putting rose contact paper all over the entire thing. And so I decided to just pause on the idea of doing contact paper on the front of the drawer, even though I think it would be really adorable. What if it's not cute and there's that weird sticky residue when I go to take it off? I just couldn't risk it because this table is just going to be so darn stinking adorable. I also think that'd be fun to get some of those little swirly twirly onlays that I could put, around the front part of the drawer. So I think I'm going to do that to be able to make it fancy. Here is how it looks with the pretty toile contact paper in there. And if you see me wiggling my nose like a bunny rabbit, it's because my allergies are really bad. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit as well. Here is how it looks, you guys. Let me know what you think. Also, don't paint the sides of your drawers because I do think that my drawers may stick a little bit now, but that's okay. I actually don't really use these drawers a whole super ton. Now to dress my beautiful shabby chic table, I started out using just this pretty shabby chic lamp, and I have created these long lace curtains for my studio, and I absolutely love them. Here's my little rose heart cake. You guys are going to have to check that out if you want a pretty heart cake. It's in my Etsy shop, linked in the description box below. But how gorgeous does this table look in this space? It's so perfect. Oh my goodness, I want to paint everything like this now. And actually, what do you guys think about me painting my studio walls in that really pale pink that I used in my living room? It's the Cotton Candy by Sherwin-Williams, and it's my signature color. Even Sherwin-Williams commented on my post and said that they thought so as well. So I will take that as a compliment and continue to paint my world. But see that half wall back there that's gray? I really loved that gray when I put it in, and I still think it's beautiful, but wouldn't it be pretty if it was that pale pink? maybe we're going to dream up a DIY project for our next video. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. I need to know how everybody did through these last round of storms. I am in Midwest Missouri. And I know that some people got a ton of snow. We actually got a little bit of snow yesterday, and the day before that, it was like 80 degrees. So the weather is definitely doing a lot of this. We've had strong winds that are like 20 to 25 miles an hour pretty much for the last 24 hours. But thankfully no damage here, except for I have some really bad allergies. I don't know if you guys can kind of tell. So anyway, we just did a short project today. So bear with me as I kind of recover from that. I also had a fabulous little kind of garage sale. It was kind of like a cottage garage sale. And you guys, I sold out. So if you're watching this video and you stopped by my garage sale, thank you all so much. I also have to give a big shout out to my sweet friend at Bling Boutique. I'm going to link her shop down below. She sent me some amazing fun jewelry treasures that I cannot wait to wear. So anyway, okay, now let's go ahead and start in with this discipleship. So we have been going around, let me hold it up here really close if you guys want to just pause it and maybe expand it, screenshot it. But so this has been a 52-week journey, the Bible in a year. You guys have been loving this one, and I am too. So this one is called Discipleship, and I'm going to just go ahead and read the synopsis, and then we'll do the weekly blessing. Discipleship is a lifelong journey of following Jesus and being transformed into his likeness. It requires intentional commitment to growth and the willingness to learn from and invest in others. Following Jesus daily. When Jesus gave the Great Commission in Matthew 28:19-20, he didn't call us to make converts, but disciples, followers who would learn his ways and reproduce his life in others. This commission remains our primary mandate, challenging us to move beyond surface-level Christianity to deep, transformative faith. Jesus' call to discipleship is uncompromising. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily. And that's in Luke 9:23. This daily surrender confronts our tendency to compartmentalize our faith or to seek comfort above obedience. Discipleship isn't a program we complete, but a daily choice to follow Jesus regardless of the cost. Christ's words about bearing fruit in John 15:8 remind us that true discipleship produces visible results. Like a healthy branch connected to the vine naturally produces grapes, a life connected to Jesus naturally produces spiritual fruit. This fruit isn't primarily about our activities, but about our character being transformed to reflect his. Paul's charge to Timothy to entrust truth to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others, and that's 2 Timothy 2:2 establishes discipleship as a relay race of faith where each generation passes the baton to the next. This challenges us to think way beyond our own spiritual growth to consider how we're investing in others. The goal of discipleship is clearly stated, presenting everyone perfect in Christ. That's Colossians 1:28-29. This perfection isn't about flawless performance, but about spiritual maturity, becoming more like Jesus in character and purpose. The week 1 blessing says, may you follow Jesus with renewed commitment this week, taking one step closer to him each day and helping others do the same. So let's look at the first question on this one. What spiritual discipleship do you want to develop? Choose one small, manageable step to practice it daily this week. So something that I really would like to develop would be to guard my words when it comes to being silly or making a joke. Recently, I thought that I was just being silly and making a joke when I was out to dinner with my family, and I hurt someone's feelings. and they kind of lashed out on me later about it, and I had no intention of hurting them in the way that they perceived, and I apologized very quickly and, said that I definitely didn't have any intention to hurt their feelings, but to just be more wise and guarded with how I use my words, because if I am to be leading people to Jesus, I don't ever want to make anybody feel upset or like I hurt their feelings. I think we have to be careful when we're making jokes, and I do like to be funny and just make jokes and be silly. And so again, I had no intention of that coming off like it did. So being more careful with my words. So drop a comment down below and let me know one thing that you guys would like to work on to help become just a little bit more Christ-like and a better disciple. So thank you guys so much for being here. You're such a blessing and honor. Thank you for all of the love and support that you all share with me, and all the grace that you give me and the forgiveness that you give me. And again, thank you to my sweet friend at the Bling Boutique. You're gonna go have to check out her cute goodies, and just everybody that likes, comments, and subscribes. And I would love to have you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. And also pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home DIY Facebook page, where I share daily crafting inspiration, like tons of ideas, recipes, all the things. So I love you guys to the moon and back. And until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.